To get started with Google Sites, open your browser and head over to sites.google.com. That is sites.google.com. Then you will be redirected to the screen where you'll see a couple of choices. You can either start with a blank site or pick one of the ready-made templates. If you want to see more of these ready-made templates, click on the template gallery and you'll find a bunch of options like portfolios, project sites, team sites. Really handy if you don't want to design everything from scratch. But for this walkthrough, let's keep it simple and choose a blank site. Now, there is another way as well which you can use to create a site that is straight from Google Drive. Just head over to Google Drive and then click on the New button, then More, then Google Sites, and you'll end up pretty much at the same place. So either way, you'll land up here on a brand new empty site. Okay, so the big blank area in here, that's basically your canvas. This is where your website comes to life. Whatever you add, text, images, videos, this is where it will show up. Now, over on the right hand side, you will see a sidebar with 3 tabs: Insert, Pages, and Themes. Let's pause on Insert tab first because this is where you'll spend most of your time. At the top, you've got the basic building blocks. Text box if you want to write something, images for photos or graphics, embed, which is cool if you want to pull in some content from some another website like a widget or something, and of course Drive, which lets you insert stuff from your Google Drive. All right. And below this, you will see content blocks. These are like ready-made layouts where text and images are already combined for you. The stuff that you just saw above it, this is combined here. For example, one block might have an image on the left and the text on the right. Another might have 3 side-by-side sections. This saves you time when you want a nice, clean layout without dragging things around too much. Below that, you've got extras like buttons, which are great for linking pages. Other sections like dividers to break sections apart, and spacers for adding some space or breathing room. There are even shortcuts for adding things like YouTube videos, maps, docs, slides, sheets, forms, basically anything from Google's ecosystem. So yeah, you've got quite a toolbox here. Next to Insert is the Pages tab, and the Pages tab is where you create and manage your site's pages. This includes homepage, about page, contact, whatever you need. And finally, moving on to the Themes tab, which is the third one over here. This is where you choose the overall theme or the look of your website. Further, you can also choose the styles like colors and fonts. This is simple, but really handy when you want the whole site to look consistent. So you'll see a bunch of options over here, like Simple, Aristotle, Diplomat, Vision, and a few more. Each one has a slightly different design, and when you click on them, your site updates instantly. I'll pick the Aristotle theme with a blue accent. It looks clean and modern, and you can switch fonts too, like classic, modern, bold, whatever feels right for you. All right, with that sorted, let's actually start building. Up at the very top, there's space for your site name. Since this is a demo, I'll just type in Apple because let's assume we are building the official website for Apple using Google Sites. I know it's ironic and kind of funny, but let's do it that way. All right, next to it, you can upload a logo. Let me do that now. There we go. The logo appears in the corner automatically. You can also add a favicon. That's the tiny little icon that shows up in your browser tab. I'll upload the same Apple logo here so it is consistent. The logo and the background are white, so you can't see it here, but it will be visible on the website. And that's it. It's done. Okay, so by default, you will see a big header section over here. If you click on the header type, you can choose between cover, which is a full page format, a large banner, which is pretty much half the page, a simple banner, which is a bit smaller, or title only, which is basically no image, just text. For now, I'll just go with large banner. I think it's a fairly good balance. Let's upload a background image. I'll use a nice iPhone shot in here. And I'll adjust the positioning with the anchor image tool so that the text sits neatly. Then I'll type in a heading. All right, this looks sharp already. Now let's scroll down and start adding some sections. I'll grab a content block from the insert panel. On the left side, I'll upload an iPhone picture and type in iPhone 16 Pro. And on the right, I'll upload a MacBook picture and type MacBook Pro. Nice and simple. Let's also add another block, this time with 3 images in a row. I'll upload a few iPhone 16 series photos and then give this section a title by adding a text box and type in iPhone 16 series. All right, one little thing, if you want to reorder things, just drag them around. Just move your mouse to the left part where you can see this sort of an icon and then just drag it wherever you want. For example, I just dragged this title above the images and it snapped into place. Okay, now the layout feels a little tight, so let's use the spacer tool. Just drag one between sections and you can stretch it to control how much breathing room you want. Now let's click preview over here and you can see how this looks. And honestly, it looks like a real website to me now. Okay, now back into the editor. Scroll down to the bottom and click on add footer and type in something simple like copyrights Apple Incorporated. Now you can change the background color of this and even add links if you want to, but I'm just keeping this simple for the purposes of this walkthrough. Now let's add another page. Just go to the Pages tab, then click on this plus button, then New Page, and I'll name it iPhone because I'm going to be creating a dedicated page for the iPhone. This time I'll set the header to cover and upload a big iPhone banner photo. After that, I'll type a tagline over here, which is the best iPhone ever made, because that's exactly what Apple claims each time an iPhone is launched. Next, let's add a YouTube video. From the Insert tab, go to YouTube. Then all you need to do is paste the link of the video you want to add and click Insert. Then you can resize it to fit nicely. All right, that looks fairly good. Below this, I'll add 2 more content blocks. The first one with an image on the left and the text on the right. Let's fill in some info and an image over here. The other one is flipped the other way. That way it looks a bit balanced to me. All right, now adding a couple of spacers for neat spacing and we're done with the iPhone page. Okay, now back on the home page, let's link the iPhone section to the iPhone page. Just click on the image block, then click on Insert Link and select iPhone and done. This is what Google Sites does. It shows all the pages you have created so it's easy for you to hyperlink. And just to show you, you can also link to external websites. For example, I could take the MacBook section and add a link and point it directly to Apple's official MacBook page. So as you can see, you've got both internal and external linking covered. Okay, let's add one final page. So we go to the Pages tab and add a page. I call it Contact. All right, I'll switch the header to title only because let's have a clean look over here. On the left, I'll insert a Google map of Apple's headquarters. As you can see, it's a really simple process. On the right, I'll type in the address and add a phone number. Now, this address is real, but the phone number isn't, so don't try calling it. And to make it more useful, you know what, let's embed a Google form so visitors can reach out directly by just filling up the form. So from insert, just choose forms. This will show all the forms that you have created and saved in your drive. You can just pick the one you want and insert. You can resize it just the way we did for the YouTube video so it fits perfectly. Then click on preview. All right, now we got the contact page with a map, address, phone, and a working form. Really nice. That's good progress, I'd say. Okay, so if you want to change the order of the pages in the navigation, just drag them up or down in the Pages tab, and that will change the navigation as you can see over here. All right, we're almost done. Let's just go over some quick settings before we publish. Just click on the gear icon at the top to get to the settings. The first option that you get to see over here is called navigation. By default, your menu sits at the top of the page, as you can see, but if you want to switch it to the side, you get a sidebar navigation that slides in from the left. This is really handy if you have a lot of pages or if you prefer that mobile app kind of feel. Personally, I'll keep it on the top for now, but you can try both and see which fits your design better. Next one is color. Here, you're controlling the background of your navigation bar. Right now, mine is transparent, so it blends in with the header image. So if I switch it to light or dark, you can see the whole bar change to that particular color. This is great if your header image makes the text harder to read. Switching to a solid background gives the menu way more contrast and a better readability. Then we have brand images. We already added our logo and favicon earlier, so we can skip this part. Then there's a really important one, custom domains. So by default, your site is going to be on a Google Sites URL like sites.google.com/view/something. But if you already own a domain name, say mybusiness.com or example.com, you can connect it here for free. You need to buy the domain, so you need to register it from a place like GoDaddy or Namecheap. But once you have it, linking it to your Google site is extremely simple and free. Next, we're going to move on to analytics. So if you want to track your visitors, like how many people come to your site, which pages they click, and how long they stay, you'll want to set up Google Analytics. All you need to do is just go to analytics.google.com, sign up, get a measurement ID, paste it in here, and toggle it on. From then, all your site traffic data will show up in your analytics dashboard. Super helpful if you're running a business site and want to measure your traffic. And those are the important parts in settings. Feel free to explore and get to know how to use them. But once you're happy with all of this, just click on this publish button. Now, once you're here on the publish menu, you need to type in a site name, which is basically the URL on which your website will go live. So let's type in something like Apple Official or something. You can also control the visibility of your website, like keep it public so that everybody in the world can view it, or restrict it to specific people so that only those people can view it. Finally, the search part, where you can decide if you want your website to be visible to search engines or not. By default, it is visible, but you can choose to disable it if you want to. And that's it. The site is live. Let's preview it one more time. There we go. There's the homepage with our banner and product sections, the iPhones page with its video and product highlights, and the contacts page with the map, address, and the form. All linked up. Clean navigation, works on desktop, tablet, and the phone. And it barely took us just a few minutes to actually get this thing done. So as you can see, if you have a showcase or an official website to create for a small business or a startup just starting out, then Google Sites serves as a perfect place to start. Clearly, there are a couple of restrictions and shortcomings, but if you're okay with that, then this platform is the perfect place to get started for free. If you have any questions for me, do let me know in the comment section. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.